Hey everybody, welcome to Friday. Hope you've had a great week and looking forward to an awesome weekend. Alrighty, today's just going to be a bit of a quick one it's going to be a sort of prelude to a couple of episodes that I'll be putting out next week, which I'll having to be devoting a fair bit of next week to instead of being on holidays, but that's just something that needs to be done. And I haven't had the bandwidth this week to tackle the situation. Because this week we've still, I guess, the last 2 weeks, my awesome retail manager Andrew's been on leave, so I've been covering his job, and I have stuffed up, to my knowledge, only 3 packing orders, which is still not amazing, but it could have been worse. I have been having not the greatest week, especially this week. As you may recall from last week's vid, I did manage to really put my back out a couple of weekends ago, which I think was sort of preluded by being knocked off the bike and it got a bit twisted. I do have a long-standing back injury, which I do have to nurse a fair bit, and it can have some flare-ups and be a bit sensitive to things. And it's just one of those things that, and thank you, I've had some very nice supportive emails that have come through over the week. If you have this type of sort of back injury or a number of lower back injuries, you know what it's like when you get a flare-up. It is quite all-pervading. There's really no sort of way to get away from it. It's with you all day and also all through the night, and it really affects your sleep and gets you pretty run down. So I was also quite sick for most of this week. That didn't help things. I think was just a consequence of the preceding week of shite from the back that continued through. It's getting there now, so it's, again, being a fairly long-standing injury, I am well versed on all the things that I need to do to try to get the flare up to try to settle, and I'm getting there today, or basically by this afternoon. It's been the first time since it occurred that I can actually now, at the moment at least, walk without a limp. It will no doubt be back tomorrow morning, but it's warmed up enough today that I can actually walk without, looking a little bit like a strange man for the first time. So we're getting there, but it's just the combination of being, I guess, busy with 2 jobs, the back really wearing you down, and then also being sick for a lot of this week on top of that. It's been a week. Just for fun, I'll pull up some little images of my back from a scan. Alrighty, and sorry, I think the sound's been a bit distorted again, which I'll try to adjust as we go today. But anywho, this is a side view of my lovely back. Now you can sort of see this is kind of like a normal shaped disc. Note the height and that it is not impinging into your main spine or nerve. You can see this is my L4 disc, which is not great. It's quite degenerated and it is impinging a bit. And then you can see here my L5 is pretty kaput. It's pretty degenerated indeed, and it is splurged out quite lovely into, I can't remember from the port if that's my sort of main spinal nerve or the S1 nerve, which is like your main sort of sciatica nerve. That's one pick. If I hang on, let's go get rid of those. Go to, I think, this one next. So here is the L4 disc, and you may be able to note that things are a little bit protruded out where they shouldn't be, but overall, that one's degenerated, but it's not causing too much issue. It's mostly where it should be. However, the L5 disc here, which you sort of could see from that first pic where it was protruding right out, that should not be going there. That disc should still be basically running across there. So it's quite a protrusion out, and it causes, as again, any who have something similar will know, it is a ton of fun. But getting there now. So enough sob story about me. Just apologies to any of those whom I did stuff up with the packing. I was not running with my normal hopeful 3 neurons online. I was definitely at some stages barely operating on 1, and it's been a little bit of a scramble brain week, and fairly foggy at times at best. Alrighty, so yeah, the actual video today, just a quick one to say that yes, I'm aware that finally Mr. H has done his hatchet attack job that's always been coming about me and ZFC, and that next week, yeah, I will address properly, obviously, for, a number of reasons. One, to defend the honesty and integrity of myself and ZFC. Two, you really do need to stand up against people like this when they are being very, dishonest for very dishonest reasons as to why they are attacking. And I am far from alone over the years with regards to this from Mr. Hambini, and I won't be the last. And I think it's, yeah, I'll go into a bit more depth in a minute on this, but yeah, obviously it will be responded to. And then we're going to take the opportunity to, because I guess from where this all began, we'll be able to ask some actual valid questions back about some of Mr. Hambini's information and work, and see if you don't think differently about some things by the end of those couple of videos. All right, now I know that anything like this, it is a bit of a double-edged sword. There'll already be people saying, don't engage. That's exactly what he's looking for. And obviously, yes, it is. He does live to, like somebody else we know, create drama wherever possible, because that's what drives his increased viewership and revenue and exposure. But for a number of reasons, which I'll sort of start to run through, we just can't let people like this get away with stuff scot-free. I feel very strongly that such people do need to be stood up against. I'm far from the first, and I will sadly be far from the last person that Mr. Hambini dishonestly attacks. Now, this message is going to get, I guess, quite a mixed response from viewers. So some of you already know what Hambini does all too often and have wanted no part of that for some time. Some of you are just normally genuinely great, peeps who have been enjoying his content, thinking that it is, all he presents, having no idea when sometimes things are very maliciously twisted indeed. Now, many of you in this category will have a hard time hearing or accepting that he is, just might not be the great guy that you think he is. He's obviously viewed by many as, the one with the courage to hold ex-businesses to account, if you see. And I'm sure that there have been plenty of cases where he has indeed done that. There's not all the time, not every video he's doing is he maliciously attacking someone and making up a whole bunch of crap. There's got to be a lot of his content where he's hopefully actually doing what you think he's doing. However, there are indeed times when, dishonest attacks like this one are exactly the case. And unless you have the time on all of it, on each of his videos to do a deep investigation to find out if what he's doing is is deservedly raising concern or holding a business to account or a dishonest and malicious attack, you just don't know. You will not be able to tell when the content that you're being presented to by him is content that's valid and something that's great for you to be aware of, or you're being used as the sucker because he's basically using you to get his a malicious attack out about somebody or some business that really does not deserve it. So yeah, many of his fans right now will have trouble believing what I'm outlining above, but again, I just ask you to watch the upcoming couple of episodes and then see. Honestly, I think in this case, it's going to be a whole lot easier to outline what he does than what you might think. Sadly, there's also going to be many that, no matter what is presented and how obvious it is about what he has done, nothing is ever going to sway them. His channel has cultivated a large core group of followers that are just there for the bullying and there to further the hate. They are, just no matter what company Mr. Hambini is attacking and why, they're all for it, regardless of what truth there may or may not be in it. Make no mistake, this core group of haters is, this core culture that he's built on his channel is something that he's very much wanted to grow. It has basically become a big first line of defense for him. It is what puts other people and other businesses off from standing up and pushing back. It is what has so far held back mainstream media from doing an investigative piece on him. So, I hope, so apart from me defending my own and ZSC integrity, I'm also joining those that have had the, rightfully pushed back in the past, and helping stand with others who do so in the future. And my hope is that by me doing my part, that I'm another guy putting one more brick in the road that may someday lead to a proper investigation into this guy by mainstream media and by a proper investigative journalist. At the moment, they sort of stand back because they just don't want to have to deal with the backlash. But I think sooner or later, there's going to be enough there that it's definitely going to be worth their while doing and worth dealing with that side. And one day, I don't know if it's going to be next year or 2 years or when, but I think the clock will be ticking, and that one day he will be properly exposed for what he is. And I'll be able to give you just a very small insight into that in the next couple of vids. Now, if you think I'm overblowing things, or you think that, what am I talking about with regards to just how hateful a core group that he has, let's give you an example from what's come up already from his hatchet job on me and ZFC. Now, I'm going to find it still disturbing just reading, but put into context, even if, I can assure you that it certainly isn't, but even if, everything he says is true, I'm just a complete and utter, con job in the space, just one whole big, ZFC is just one whole big lie. Have a think about if that would still then warrant what some of the comments have already come through. Right now, I guess at the end of the day, I have to give Hambini some bit of credit that he actually made contact to make me aware. However, as you will see, I'm still very disappointed with the lack of action that he has taken versus what he should have taken. To save me sort of running through it as a rambling mess, I've copied and pasted a bunch of his email to me and also my replies back to him. We go into a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't know whether I should just maybe post the entire email chain on my website, but I can maybe look at that after I sort of get the response vids done. But these are I've just copied and pasted them into a Word doc, the relevant sections that I'm talking about here today, and I'll just read through those as I put them on screen. And that's not why I'm contacting you. In the comments of the piece I've written about you, there were a few people that made some comments and threats about your wife. Now, I have no idea why my wife is coming into any of this. I've since deleted them. I don't know your wife, but the last thing I want is some nut job to come around to your home and set it on fire or attack her. This might be a personal question, so don't answer if you don't want to, but is your wife of Middle Eastern descent, and is she a medic? Disregard this email if you want. I can understand if you do, but whilst I may be a twat to you and we have our differences, attacks on family members is where I draw the line. Email reply asking for some more information, and he's replied, the comments relating to your wife, there were several, were along the lines of, they are going to slash her Arab face and set her on fire with your kid watching because you are a two-faced racist bullshitter. They were the words. I didn't make that up. I have no idea who you have offended, but as I said previously, I think that is a step too far, so I remove them. Just forgive my ramble replies to him. They're hopefully not too bad, but as I said before, it's been a week, so I just had to type it out as rushed and best I could. So my reply to that was, that is very disturbing and upsetting. Report, read the comments. I really don't know what to do. I appreciate that you have at least had the morals to reach out and let me know about them, and that deleting them as well, that's a minimum. I haven't had time fully to process this yet. But I don't understand what is going on here, i.e. other people have been very critical of you in the past. And from those criticisms, some people are very much not a fan of your work, and yet none of them are threatening such horrific things to your partner. When I do a response to clarify the dishonesty about me and my work from your article, I am sure I will have comments from your people who think I'm crap and that you are right, and others who will support me and not be happy about you. But I certainly don't expect to see anyone on my channel saying that they should go out and slash your hairdresser's face and set her on fire. Now, what kind of culture and demographic have you cultivated on your channel? And believe me, I already know. That's a rhetorical question. That such could possibly actually happen to begin with. The only other person I know who vehemently dislikes me is Venereal D, and that all started simply because I declined to go on his channel. Then he has made up a rather astounding amount and variety of crap about me. I don't think I can say this about anyone else I know, but he truly is horrifically immoral. Aside from that, things really don't get that exciting in my world. I do some corrections when media get things wrong, and so I'm sure that Cade Media, the latest Escape Collective mechanic etc., won't ask me out for a beer, but they are hardly going to be themselves or have friends making such horrendous comments, nor are the likes of Muck Off or Finish Line etc. Overall, negative reviews on bicycle chain lubricants or correcting poor information about immersive waxing, it just doesn't get that spicy. The worst comments I ever get by far are from Venereal D sycophants or Hambini sycophants, but even these are generally few and far between, and while some of them would be quite misogynist, surprise, nothing to this level. In summary, I am sorry, but I really don't think this is a me thing, and these comments are appearing on your channel, your subscribers. Just deleting them is not sufficient. If someone typed anything remotely like this on my channel, I would A, advise them that this was far beyond acceptable to type and then report them to YouTube, having taken screenshots of the comments and with usernames, and then block them from the channel. Now, forgive me at the moment because in my addled brain state, I had forgotten that this was about an article on his website, and that actually makes things worse. But yeah, I do sort of keep focused on the fact that this is on his YouTube channel for the time. Aside from that being an obvious minimum action, should something happen, do you think that, oh, I deleted them and let Adam know, would that hold up as you did what you should have done? I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. I feel conflicted, as I do appreciate you reaching out to let me know. But yes, what on earth is going on your channel, and you should be doing much, much more to not allow that type of culture to exist. It is extremely disturbing and upsetting. And my wife is often out training by herself, so I'm not sure what to do. It just should not be possible to disagree with how I might be testing chain lubricants and measuring chain wear, to have people making such horrendous comments. I just do not understand why the focus on generating ridicule and hate with content and the often extremely bullying nature. How many really extremely harsh comments about other people and companies have you had on your videos over the years? If something happens here and you have done nothing to control the culture of hate by a notable percentage of your subscribers, I don't know what options I would have in regards to this, but I would explore all of them. I wish you would do more and better in regards to this. So Hambini replies, look, I don't know what else I can do. I've deleted the messages and informed you. If you want me to do something else, then please suggest a way. And I think obviously I've done that. I think it's completely unacceptable. You're saying I should do more, but you have not said exactly what I'm supposed to do. My reply, so regarding you don't know what else to do, are you kidding me? So you haven't even blocked and reported the users making horrific death threats about my wife to occur in front of my child. Just delete them, and yeah, it's cool that these are the people I want to come back anytime and make future horrific comments. Again, the culture that you obviously seem to enjoy creating for your channel is truly disturbing. And that the only action you would take around such comments is to delete them is frankly beyond any belief. Where is your moral line? Did you only inform me in some vain attempt to look like you did what you were supposed to cover off that I would get such sent to me anyway from other people? It is just absolutely beyond that you haven't taken deeper action around such comments. So wherever this all ends up, at the end of the day, you know that you have yet again set out using a huge amount of deliberate dishonesty to harm another person and business for your own immoral reasons. Obviously, if you wanted to prosecute the case of steel re-hybrid ceramic, which is, as you'll see next week, where this all began, and that I was completely incorrect in my information, document and concern, that this is what you should have done. But why take up a situation on its merits when you can get more views by another dishonest roasting, make yourself out to be a hero holding accountability to blah 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 to many who will not see through what you do? Hambini's reply, there is no point me going around in circles. I've suggested the text for you to read. You clearly haven't. You claim to be independent and claim it to be a hobby, but you employ somebody and still test for monetary gain. A contradiction if I've ever heard one. Judging by the comments, it's a commonly voiced opinion. All right, just on that, I mean, this is just a very small hors d'oeuvres as to how easily a lot of this is going to be counted next week. ZFC is a hobby business. It's a hobby business. It has always been a hobby business. A business, you need money to cover your costs, and you need money to cover your time. So, like, just that one stupid misunderstanding about me doing this as just a personal hobby versus it being a hobby business, where I want to work part-time and I employ someone so that I can work part-time. I mean, it's just so stupid. And then, so a contradiction I've ever heard one, judging by the comments, it's a commonly voiced opinion. Well, he's painted the picture. So, of course, the comments are going to voice opinion based on the picture that he's painted. So he's created his own circular argument there and using that to justify itself. I mean, again, for what is ostensibly a smart guy, he's sometimes, an absolute idiot. You can investigate all this, all you like. I'm used by various professional bodies like safety boards in Europe, North America, so my credibility is a bit more than GCN. People may not like the delivery, but the information is technically correct. It has not changed in these years. I look forward to explaining how you can measure to microns, which will all be covered. All right, so my brain in all this time has been still thinking that this is a YouTube channel vid, and my mind has been there with regards to the comments, but the fact that this is actually on his website makes it all even worse. Now, so, I mean, aside from dealing with the vagaries of reporting stuff to YouTube, this is on his own website. Likely these commenters are obviously registered people and accounts and users to be able to comment on his website. So he's saying he doesn't know what more he can do other than deleting them. He doesn't think he can take any deeper action than that to block these people from commenting on his own website. And I just think that is just so unacceptable. I mean, these comments are just so far beyond. And he's happy to just say, hey, check these out, just to let you know, just in case your wife gets slashed and burned in front of your child. Sweet. Done my job. No, suffice to say that if anyone said anything, a fraction of that on, say, my videos with regards to Hambini, they would be blocked and they would be reported. I would take the actions that any sane person with any morals would take as a very basic minimum. All right, lastly, just before I wrap up this wonderful prelude to next week, where we'll just go into the actual facts of things. But I feel so stupid that I even have to actually talk about whether I'm racist or not. I mean, this is something that bloody venereal disease Durian Rider threw out as one of the many stupid shit that he made up about me. And it's one of these things, it's just like someone just makes up whatever they like, and obviously you're going to have X people that just run with it. And I feel it's just beyond that I actually have to ever defend that I'm obviously not racist. I love how they go, let's slash her, Arab face, but I'm a racist. Perhaps the fact that it, whom I've married might be a hint that perhaps I'm not and never have been. And again, if you want to know what my mindset is with regards to anything like this, become a Time Suck fan. Dan Cummins, best podcast in the world. I'm up to episode 376. I think about all things with regards to race, religion, and just I think if there's anyone who's practically a clone for how I think on just about every topic, it is Dan Cummins. And you will not find anyone who is a fan of the Time's Up podcast who is in any way, it is just, I can't believe I have to say that I'm obviously not racist. But anyway, thanks to some other the type of people that throw this stuff out, it is, beyond, it really should be on them that they can do that type of stuff, and you get that sort of shit come back onto, to normal people, then feeling like they need to defend against such. If you're cool with that, then cool. Be fans of those guys. If you're not cool with that kind of behavior, perhaps think about the kind of people you support. Alrighty, that'll do. I'm fast running out of the very, very small amount of neurological power I still possess on this Friday afternoon at the end of a rough week. Hopefully we'll get some better sleep over this weekend. Things seem to be finally settling down on the back front, and that will help a lot for next week. I'm not sure when, because I've got school holiday start, so I'm going to be fairly busy with Mini-Me and Mini-Me friend stuff and having a bunch of fun, and I was meant to be on leave next week, but I will be getting to doing the proper responses, one to set things right from his Hatchet job article, and then the part 2, which should be fun as well. And yeah, again, I think you're going to find a lot of this quite enlightening. So yeah, not sure what days they'll be out, because it's really going to depend on what time I can sort of find to get to them. But sometime next week I'll try to get them both out and then get that done, and then have an actual proper holiday in week 2. All right, till then, and again, yeah, I'll thank in advance for any that obviously sort of, no doubt there'll be people that have been following me for a while that will be lovely with support and comments, and I will apologise in advance. Normally I am pretty good at getting to comments, but yeah, I'll be pretty flat out and trying to get onto some other things next week. So I'm not sure how much time I'll have to sort of come back and have a look at this vid and see what is or isn't in there from who knows what fronts. So yeah, forgive me if I don't get back to sort of comments as I normally would over the next coming days. Other than that, yeah, have a great weekend, everyone, and I will look forward to chatting with you again soon.